You may be wondering why the title of this video does not say Top 50 Free Agents 1 through 25. Well, with all the hectic, crazy stuff that happened in the first freaking 10 minutes of free agency that has been canceled due to, as I said, a few of those players have already signed and announced where they're going. So I'm just going to read off who's signed and where they're going where and give my take on it. Congratulations to Russia on advancing to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Great win, solid win. And I'll tell you about tomorrow's video at the end of this one. Going into it, you're going to start off, going to read off, going to be scrolling through this. Kevin Durant agreed to a 2-year, $61.5 million deal with the Golden State. First year is $30 million. The second year is an option, player option, for $31.5 million. So he has the option to stay for the first. Well, he has to stay if he signs a contract, obviously. So first year after that, he can opt out of his contract again. So we all saw that coming. Moving on. Will Barton agrees to stay with the Denver Nuggets, a 4-year, $54 million deal. He's a small forward for the Nuggets, a very underrated player. I think that's huge for the Nuggets because he's good. He's really good, and I think they need to keep him. More good news for the Nuggets fans out there. Nikola Jokic, or whatever you want to call him, expected to accept a 5-year, $148 million deal with the Nuggets. He's probably the best player on that team, so once again, huge for them. Big that they get to keep him too. If they can just put more around him, they could really have a solid team. This is the one that makes me happy. Paul George, 4-year, $137 million with Oklahoma City. All the Lakers fans are out there. Paul George isn't coming here. He's a traitor and blah blah. He's staying in Oklahoma City. Yeah, he was in Indiana. He's like, I want to play for LA, but he got traded to Oklahoma City because he asked for a trade. He's playing in Oklahoma City for a year, and Oklahoma City convinced him that, well, you should play here, and he liked it enough that he wanted to play there. So, Lakers fans, if you're crying out there, get over it, honestly. Gee, good grief. Doug McDermott agreed to a fully guaranteed 3-year, $22 million deal with the Pacers. We talked about him yesterday. Good pickup for the Pacers. Some solid bench depth that will add. He could definitely add some shooting to that team, which is good for them. Very good for them, actually. And now to Joe Harris, who is a 2-year, $16 million to stay with the Nets. Good for him. Ersan Ilyasova, 3-year, $21 million with the Bucks. Good for him. Chris Paul agreed to a 4-year, $160 million deal to stay with the Rockets. I think we could have said we all saw that coming. He liked Houston. If it wasn't for that hamstring injury, he probably would have made it to the finals and won the finals over the Cavs, but that hamstring injury hurt him, and Harden couldn't carry the team, so they lost to Golden State, and Golden State beat Cleveland in the finals. And another big news of someone who left, or more big news of a big-name free agent, Deandre Jordan agreed to a 1-year deal worth approximately $24 million to go with the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas is freaking out right now. I mean, I look at Twitter, and freaking Mavericks fans are like, yeah, going crazy all over the place. And so that starting five, what I think it would be Dennis Smith Jr., Luka Doncic. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sorry. Harrison Barnes, Dirk Nowitzki, and DeAndre Jordan. There's obviously other options of people, what I've seen online. But I think that'll be their starting lineup unless they get LeBron or something, which they won't. So, moving on. Rudy Gay re-signed with the Spurs, 1 year, $10 million. So he got about $1 to $2 million more than what he had. I think it was $8.8 million. I know there was an 8 in there. So he got a little bit more money to stay with the Spurs. That's probably why he opted out, to get more money. And more good news for Thunder fans. They needed to keep him. Jeremy Grant. 3-year, $27 million deal to stay with the Thunder. They're in this luxury tax thing. It's a bunch of money things and financial stuff, and it's a bunch of taxes. I don't understand all the details of it, but I know it's not good. Taxes, luxury taxes or whatever it is, it's not good. So, it's not good. That's all I can say. Carmelo's worth $28 million to shoot 30%. Okay, just stop stressing me out. But anyways, Trevor Ariza agreed to a 1-year, $15 million deal with the Phoenix Suns. Interesting. Houston will miss him. He's a pretty decent defender. His shooting's okay, but gets some rebounds. He's a good player, but I don't know what to say other than he went to the Suns. He thinks the Suns are doing something, I guess. Well, he's a big deal. Ed Davis to the Nets. Omri Caspi to the Memphis Grizzlies. Yesterday, as I said, the Memphis Grizzlies need anything, so good for them. That's a mess. Derrick Rose finalizing a deal to return to the Timberwolves. Good for him. He actually did pretty good last year with the Timberwolves. Obviously, he's been injury prone these last few years ever since the ACL tear. It's gone downhill since then, but he's always going to be the one. What if he never got injured? What could have been? Kind of feel bad for him, but Marco Bellinelli, he's going back to the Spurs. 2-year, $12 million deal. Good for him. Good for the Spurs. I think that's a good pickup for them. If they're going to lose Kawhi, they need to get some more depth, some more assets that can help them. Bellinelli, Rudy Gay, they're definitely going to help. And then in their trade, they're obviously going to get a lot because Kawhi's worth a lot. Aaron Baines agreed to a 2-year, $11 million deal with Boston. We all saw that coming. Gerald Green to re-sign with the Rockets, not the Golden State Warriors, on a 1-year deal with a veterans minimum of $2.4 million. I think that's good for the Rockets. He did pretty good this year, so good for him. Nick Stauskas, 1-year minimum deal with the Portland Trailblazers. Good for him. Woo! Big deal. Luke Cornett agreed to a 1-year deal to remain with the Knicks. Good for Luke. Good for the Knicks. Woohoo. Very happy for that. That's a good deal right there. Good for the Knicks. He's like 7'1". He can shoot threes. It's like Dirt 2.0. He's 7'1". He can block shots. He got a double-double in his first career game with like 4 blocks, which was the first time in NBA history. I think he was the first player in NBA history to have a double-double, hit 3 threes, and have 4 blocks in his first career game. So I'm just saying, he could be pretty good. He could be big. I'm just saying. Call me crazy. Fred VanVleet agreed to a 2-year, $18 million deal with the Raptors, so he's staying there. Good for him. Oh, this next one makes me laugh. Saul Mejri agreed to a 1-year minimum deal to remain with the Mavericks. Man, Mejri. Have you ever watched him play? He's an interesting player to watch. Just the way he runs, the way he does everything is just weird to me. He just looks... It's just like... I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. But he's underrated. I got to admit, he is a little bit underrated. He doesn't get a lot of playing time, but you never know. And Glenn Robinson III agreed to a 2-year, $8.3 million with the Pistons. All right. So, well, let's see what this is. All right. Not a big deal. All right. So, as I said, that's all I have for today. Top 25 got canceled. Tomorrow's video is going to be about the race today and the ending with Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch. Pretty good race, I'd say. Definitely good at end of stage 2 and the good end of the race. If you didn't see the end of the race, even if you're not a NASCAR fan, I encourage you to go watch that. It was awesome. And then the respect Kyle Larson showed at the end, I'll talk about that tomorrow. It was really cool, really cool. But that's all I have for today. There's some free agents I just talked about. And hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share. Share is a big one. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, go for it. I don't care. If you don't want to, you don't want to. I just post a bunch of sports updates, basically. So, and then I post updates on my videos when I post them and all that stuff, so you can know that if you don't like the YouTube notifications. But yeah, so have a nice day.